maybe it's just how I'm wired. I'm really full of hope about reaching the city, helping people meet Jesus. And maybe I could say like I'm full of hope about the idea of evangelism in the city. But I'm really intimidated by the task of discipleship in the city. And I know that they're not totally two separate things, but I find myself really aware that there are massive competing forces for people's affections and times. And they might be drawn to the message of Jesus, but when it comes to actually becoming like him and that work of letting go of other worldviews and idols. And I just would love like you to tell me a little bit about what you've learned about discipling people in the way of Jesus in a city like Vancouver.
Yeah, well, one of my first lessons came from the sitting there when I was a new pastor here. So someone encouraged me to meet up with someone named Philip Owen, who was certainly before your time, Jason. He was at the time attending St. John's Shaughnessy, an Anglican church. And I asked him for advice as a new pastor here. What should I emphasize? And I thought he would say, support our, I think it's called the 4 pillars, get free from drugs program, minimizing harm, or help us with our homeless ministry, our homeless work. But Philip looked me in the eye from across his wooden table and said, the best thing you could do for the city of Vancouver, Ken, is to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Point people to him. This is the mayor of Vancouver. And so I've never forgotten that. And so I'm just thrilled to hear your heart, Jason, to point people to Jesus. In terms of spiritual formation and discipleship, we live in a very anxious age, particularly during COVID. And, people will turn to all kinds of things: alcohol, drugs, sex, food, Netflix, shopping, to try to assuage their restlessness. But as Eckhart Tolle, the Vancouver-based spiritual teacher, who's obviously not writing from a Christian perspective, says that when we reach for these things in an unconscious attempt to remove our restlessness, they provide only very short-lived relief from our symptoms. And so a better path is to meet Jesus and then to cultivate a deep relationship with him. And I found that meditation really helps me to take a deeper dive into that relationship, that it not only fosters a change in my character for the better, but it also helps me live with greater peace, more love toward others. And so it's deeply transformational. And I have found that the path of the contemplative practices can be a powerful way for people to become more like Jesus, but also experience his peace and joy.